Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Creeper World 4. That is right, we are back heading into the colony section for the author Tricky Corp. That is right, we are going here. He has a lot of cursor maps, 14 pages of maps, if you can believe it. We are going to go for this short cursor map right now. This is because it is eggs, it's tricky, it's easy, it's broken, it's short, it's all sorts of things. But at the same time, it says easy here, but it also says this is a very hard level. I wouldn't be surprised if nobody can beat this. So the author themselves said this is a very hard level, and they would be surprised if no one can beat this. And I've given this a little test run, and I believe I know why. So let's just give the map a quick overview. As you can see, we have our little anti-creep set over here. We have creep over on this side, and if we actually transparent the creep real quick, we can see that there's some little creep breeder as well as split breeder in this section. There's a split breeder over here, split breeder back here. Look at the size of that plinth. Quite large as well, and you can see a Crimsonator, which really doesn't do much against an anti-creep wave, but that's fine, it looks cool. Can't argue with that, and yeah, so this is the map. And the reason why I believe this map is so hard is not because of this section, it's not because of this section, it's not even because of this section. It's because of this right here. So we're going to show why this is so hard in one playthrough, which I'm going to do first, and then we're going to do a second playthrough where we get through it. So this will be the same map done twice. We're going to go top down. We're going to untransparent the creep because, you know, the creep just looks better like that. And let's get going. So this will be the untransparented side, or the first side where we're just going at the map and saying, okay, well, let's see what this map is all about. But again, I think I know what's kind of going on. So, like right here, we have a nice area right here. It's protected by some breeder over there. Not breeder, absorber terrain over there. So let's take this. I mean, it has some absorption, or some breeding on it for us, and it gets rid of a lot of creep generation for them. So, of course, we wouldn't want them to have this, right? We can take this pretty easily. It'll hold itself. It will just give us more power, and more power is more good, of course. Who doesn't like more power? So we should be pretty okay to take this. It might take a minute or two, but, you know, we are working through it. We could use with a little bit more power, so maybe going to the north would be a bigger boost to our power. But, you know, as we carve through this, we, again, hold the walls, as I've said in the first-person map. We want to just make these lines, hold the walls. Once we get the wall, then we can essentially surround the creeper. Don't get surrounded, do the surrounding, of course. So look at that, we've taken the wall, in essence. These eggs, they look dangerous, but as you can see, they really don't explode everywhere they land. I don't know if that's because the map is full, but even when the map is full, they don't really do too much. It's also potential that they're exploding, and just there's so much anti-creep there, it just doesn't even matter. So those eggs look way more dangerous than they actually are. As you can see, look, we're just going to go over an egg right here. Boop, it's gone, you know? So I'm okay with that. You can see a tiny bit of creep coming here and there from them. Oh my. It's perfectly fine. We have so much anti-creep on our side, I am not super worried. So as you can see, we have now taken this section, which is fantastic, which just gives us more power to do the push into Eggopolis over here. And yeah, so this is how when I first saw this map, this is how I wanted to approach the map. So we can take a quick look. We'll do a little pause, see how things are looking, and you can see, this is how much anti-creep we do have. It's actually pretty substantial. Again, this will be breeding for us. Look at how much this stash is pumping out. It's only 100 stash, but it's basically pump, 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 pump. So that stash is doing some pretty good work around here. And yeah, not too bad. So what we'll do is we'll unpause and just see how things go. And, I mean, as you can see, the eggs, not actually a problem. If these eggs were exploding, probably would be impossible, I would say. Or at least exploding with any quantity of creep that would essentially destroy our anti-creep. Maybe they are exploding in creep. Let's actually go to the side and see. You know, I don't see any creep release from these eggs. They look cool. They look great. I'm a fan of them. But, you know, there you go. So this is step one. Again, we're gaining more power as we're going. Our pointer emitter is doing a great job, and we're just going to go through the level, and so far, so good, right? No real problems again. We're having a good time. And yeah, I think it's pretty solid. As you can see, there is a creeper limit on the map. So the creeper limit is at 5 in this emit mode. I guess a creeper emit mode limit, I should say. So let's go grab this. Of course, we can come over here. Of course, we would want to take this, right? I mean, it's right there. It's a breeder. You know, we don't want creep breeding, of course. Except when you do. Except when you do. And that's I think the ultimate key is right now, as you can see, we're still moving along. Singing our song. And, you know, our anti-creep is actually higher, or almost as high as the creep itself right now. I mean, we have about 50%, just 1k shy of it, but we're increasing our anti-creep at such a high margin. It really isn't too bad. And we're just gonna, remember that really high plinth over here? I mean, look at how fast our anti-creep just goes over it, right? We just want to grab this other power over here next because it's power. Power is good. You know, more generation for us, less generation for them. That's what you want to see, of course, right? And as you can see, their emit mode is now down to 3.9, which is pretty fantastic. You know, it means they don't have as much creep on the map, which is great. This is pumping out some creep like crazy, but that's fine. You know, we can work on it. And that's actually the problem. This thing is a monster. So let's really get in here. And as you can see, it just looks like some creeper breeder, but look at it. I mean, we cannot actually encroach on this land. That pretty much sums it up. We cannot actually get onto this. We are now creeper stuck. In essence. That's a problem. Who is that? Is that a little weakness? Did we get a little weakness? Let's actually turn the speed up to 4 and just see. Because look, we actually encroached a little bit. Oh, I let it come way too far. All right, let's cleanse some of that out. Don't need any of that in our life. Oh my gosh. This is the first that I've gotten on without doing the little trick that I was doing. Wow. That cleansed out quite a bit of it. That might be just what we need. We might not have to do this map twice. Holy moly. What did it? Was it the flowingness of the anti-creeper? You know? Nope. See? Yeah, what caused that to happen? As you can see, it's coming more back over here. But this thing just... Oh. I don't know how that happened. I don't know the effect. Oh, was it hitting the wall and creating a wave effect on top, maybe? I'm trying to make another wave. The problem is, as soon as we go to make a wave, it just spreads like freaking wildfire. So you can see, this thing is spreading... like crazy, basically. We can make these waves and almost... we took it! Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to pause there. I was not expecting to take it in map 1 with the wave system. I was just trying to keep it close before. And the little trick that I was going to say we can do does take less time. But I'll just essentially say what it is. It's you don't actually take this area. You try and actually take just the edge here and just work your way up to it. And then the emit mode hits 5 and stays at a maximum. And you can easily overtake it because it can't actually emit creep. And that is how I did it in the past. I was able to overtake it because it wasn't able to actually emit anything. That was the most important part. So the fact that we... just overpowered it with waves? I'm surprised I didn't think of that the first time. I actually never turned the speed up to 4 and wiggled my mouse to create big enough waves, I guess. So higher speed actually helped. Surprise, surprise. I am a big fan of that as well. I don't know if that's how it was supposed to be done. I don't know if the second way is how it's supposed to be won. Tricky Gamer does comment on these videos, so please leave a comment, Tricky Gamer. And let me know if I was on the right path for why this was a hard map. I'm assuming it was that spot right there. So the rest of this is literally just cleanup at this point. This is stashed just as 100 at a time, and we can even see, I mean, this 100 at a time, I mean, we just decimated. I mean, look at that, just decimation of white foam coming at it. I do need the top-down view. It's a little snaky right here, so to keep things all where they should be going. But yeah, so I guess instead of doing this a second time, we are gonna do a different map. Ooh my, oh my. We'll do another Tricky Gamer map as well. This should take the stash, no problem. There we have it. We are reclaiming right there. Look at it charging up. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so I don't even know what second map I'm going to do because I was planning on doing this twice for one video. So let's go. Of course we want this to complete, and my time is going to be terrible because, again, I think the other way was faster. I basically just did a mad dash for it, got it, and once I got it, I knew I'd be able to take the rest just very simply. So I probably could have cut down a number of minutes. But that's fine. I'm happy with this. Time won't be the best, but that's okay. We're just playing to have fun, and I'm not going to do it again just for time. We're here to have fun. Look at it go. Woo, it's flying right at us. It looks like it stays still. Beautiful. So we have done it. Time-wise, you know, definitely could be better. Definitely could have probably been like the 8-minute range, 9-minute range, I would think. Maybe 10-minute, but it did shave off quite a bit of time. Just to take this. Now, granted, we'd have to go back and take everything that we missed, so maybe that would have added more time, and okay, we'll see. Because I think I took it around the 4 or 5 minute mark, so probably could have done the rest in like 3 minutes, but let's go to a new map and see what happens. Another cursor map, because look at this, Tricky Gamer has all sorts of cursor maps. Now, Tricky Gamer does also have a tower defense map, which I am looking forward to trying, just not quite yet. Because this is a cursor map video, I want to stick to cursor maps. So let us see. We have Wave Central, another test. I mean, this is a well-thumbed up Wave Central. Help the anti-creeper spread over the world, but beware of the waves. Let's give this a go. This looks fairly intense, so to speak. Okay, so here we go. Welcome to some random symmetrical cursor map involving waves. To find your starting zone, look at the mini-map in the bottom right corner of your screen, and just look for the map until you find the anti-creeper there in the bottom right corner of the screen. Interesting. All 4 corners might look the same, but they are different. In one way or another. What's the fastest way to win? That I don't know. See, I see anti-creep over there, so I don't know why I would have to look on my mini-map. I mean, the anti-creep is literally right there. So, yeah. Let's take a look, see what we have here. So it looks like there are quote-unquote symmetries, but also not symmetries on this map, as we can see. So we have split breeder, split breeder, split breeder, pure creep breeder, split split. So the pure creep side is obviously going to be last, because we gain power by taking over every other corner, right? So that will be last. Now the question is, do we go up or do we go over? Step 1 is obviously we're going to take our first main land, take the corners, because the corners do have some breeder there, and it does appear that there is some there. We do want to take our stairway. Stairway will be first. Now, stairway does lead you to say, well, if the stairway's here, I want to kind of go this way and go this way. But at the same time, I think it will actually be easier to come down here than work our way down, around, and then up a stairway. So I do think this way is more preferred. It does depend on how much creep is being, spewed out. So we'll have to wait and see. Is there anti-creep in there? No, there is not. So creep will eventually get into that, and that will cause, all sorts of problems. Although, if we are fast enough, maybe we can get to here before that. It does look like this side and this side have approximately the same number of creep depth. Depth 5. Oh, depth 10. Okay. So this is actually easier in terms of the current amount of creep. But how much will, be there afterwards? Who knows? And also at the same time, if we take the stairs and just let this roll, this should help just push this without us even helping. So I do want to go for this first. Let us go to top down. Again, take a look at the entire map. We can see the symmetries, non-symmetries, and yeah, it looks pretty good. Thank you very much, and let's get rolling. Of course, again, we want to go to walls and get our points of power. So that is obviously our first start. We're going to go down, we're going to go straight to a corner, hopefully, fingers crossed, and we have to survive the waves that are being created. Of course, we don't necessarily care about them in our home base zone, because we're on a hill, we have generation up there. Oof, these are quite tough waves, though, with our lack of power, and that is always a problem. But we got through the wave, and we're just going to try and make a mad rush for that corner. Because if we can take that corner, then we have the world. But it is much deeper down there than I was expecting. So yeah, this is a lot. Our little power creeper our anti-creeper emitter pointer is just barely able to progress. Once we get a corner, I think we will be in a fairly decent spot because, again, now this corner breeds for us. We have level ground. I want to get it right. Oh, no, you jerk. Just spawned. See, there's some speed increase. If I had gotten to that just, a second sooner, we would have taken that. Had we taken that, we would have been able to push towards another one significantly easier because it would have bred for us. And, oh my. But you can see our power is already increased substantially, which is great. And now we can just take the rest of this land. Shouldn't really be too much of a problem. This should just fall. Yep. Oh, it's fighting. But that's okay. Okay, so fantastic. I'm not even going to worry about that. That'll take itself at this point because we now have to really worry about taking this. We want to get something in there, get it going. There is a decent-sized pool in there, but look at that. No problem at all. So now we're going to climb the stairs, get to the top of the stairs before the creep, of course. Get there before the creep. And again, I'm not going to worry about anything else. I just want to make sure we seed the top of the stairs. That's all I care about in doing this is because it's basically free real estate, so you might as well take what's free. If it's there, take it. There we go. We now have a breeder on our side over there, and we're going to then go to over here. Again, look at how relatively easy this area is, and this is a lot of land. So this land, more power for us. So if we were just trying to fight down the other pathway that we were going, we really wouldn't be making much in terms of headway. Or we would be making headway, of course. I mean, I'm sure our emitter pointer is strong enough to quote-unquote make headway, but this is just, we now took this, which is going to be this entire island, which is a lot of land. And again, land tends to be power, so I want power. We do have to reclaim the entire map, so, that's just how it goes. But look at this. I mean, now that we have that, we've essentially taken the map, or not the map, this quadrant, our corner that we started in, not the stairs and all of its surrounding fun times, but a large portion of it. So the center block here, that is just big, bad, and ugly. So the problem with this is it's very big, bad, and ugly. Look at how this is definitely along the lines of the waves. Now, it's actually not that bad in terms of how much we're producing, but let's see, can we fully survive a wave? If we can, that'd be kind of cool. It's a little bit much to just push against, so that's understandable. But that doesn't mean we can't just come over here and take this next area that we wanted to go to. Again, we're taking land. Land equals power. Power equals just good juju all around. So fantastic. Look at that. We just swept through the center here, and we've essentially, again, taken another quadrant. Now, yes, you can see that it is pushing back in areas, of course. This is actually at a stalemate, which is not too bad. I'd rather it be at a stalemate than the creep just run over it and have a free reign over there. So I'm actually pretty content with that. And yeah, we've taken another block for ourselves. And now we have to take essentially our home base from the creeper. We have to take this. Now in order to do that, we have to climb mountains. We have to do all sorts of stuff, actually. Which is okay, because we're going to take the stairs first. Again, stairs, we have seen, are equilibrium effects. Now, the stairs over here have 2 spawning points, not just the one. So with 2 spawning points, this might actually be a stronger set of stairs. And if this is a stronger set of stairs, well then, we might actually be able to take this area, thanks to our stairway of anti-creeper heaven. As you can see, I also don't really care about holding the ground that we have. The emitters themselves should hold relatively fine. I say emitters, but the breeders, the breeding grounds. should relatively hold, which is really all you need. You know, I could try and hold the spot of anti-creeper down below, but who cares if the creep starts coming up the stairs, because we're going to take the top. We're going to get anti-creep everywhere here. And just by doing this, just by taking that one alone, we've probably, hopefully, halted the creep side. And then if we take the top one, maybe it'll just push back on its own. Again, we're going to leave this to its own devices once we take this, just like that. And see, these have reached an equilibrium, which is great. This is still in an equilibrium, which, again, is perfectly fine, because we are going for more power. Yes, yes, yes. We just want to take all the power that we can, which are these huge areas. Once we have enough power, of course, we can dominate even the biggest of creeper waves. I don't care, again, about holding. I don't want to necessarily take the entire bottom right now. Why take the entire bottom when we can go straight to the top, even though it's filling in behind us? We take this, no more creep being produced. No more creep being produced, that's good stuff. Not only that, but anti-creep is produced. That's even better, you know? Just by taking this, once this is stable, hopefully this is stable, we do have to still take the outside corners. So that is the problem. So the problem now is this center spot stable enough that if we take this, it will drain enough creep that we can start to go to the corners. Because as you can see, the corners do exist in this one, but they are not they're not split breeder corners. They are pure creep breeder corners. That is our problem right now. And as you can see, we are taking this land. Now, it's not easy. They are taking it back. So that is a problem. So I might actually change my plan right now, because that top left side definitely had less creep to begin with, which to me means it could be sort of a clue of, yeah, you should be on that side. But look, we're actually winning the war. We've taken the mountain, you know, by keeping our mouse in the center. We did have to push back quite a bit, but we have essentially taken the mountain. Once we have the mountain, we definitely don't want to lose this mountain. That's one thing. I do want to push towards a corner, without a doubt, very quickly. But we cannot lose the top of the mountain. Oh, look at that. Corner taken, top of the mountain secured, and now we can stay with our walls. We can push from the walls, make our borders so much safer by just connecting this in right angles, right like this, and we're pushing through the waves. We have taken this. It is ours. There's nothing they can do. They can try and take the top of the hill. You know, they're trying. You know, they're doing an okay job, but we just took another corner. And again, each one of these corners are their breeding sources. Just by taking two of them out, I think we could even leave this alone and it would win at this point. I'm not gonna. I do want to eliminate all the creep I can. You know, we are the machine of dominance here. And look at this. Look, it's actually pushed it down. It isn't at equilibrium, because equilibrium would have kept it around here. This is actually winning the war. The war on creep. Bum, bum, bum. So, with us winning the war here, do we want to support the winner, or do we want to actually support equilibrium? I'm going to support equilibrium here, because even though I think supporting the winner would go faster, I want to get to this corner. This corner is more important to me, because that was the other breeder corner. So we could support the winner of the war, but the winner of the war is just going to win. So let them keep going down. Let them keep pushing. They're just taking free land for us, really. And that's fantastic. I will buy their war bonds any day of the week, and we are just going to push on through. And here's where, again, the problem comes. We now are at an impasse of the center wave. Bump, bump, bump. Now, our power is significantly greater than last time we met this center wave, so I am feeling pretty good about that. That being said, I still don't know if we're strong enough to take it. I definitely want to take this area first. It does have the triple stairway. I didn't even notice the stairways. Oh, look at that, triple stairway. So this stairway will hold itself very, very well, which is fantastic. And we can see, look at this center wave. Oh my. I just want to get through center wave, please. All right, let's hold up. Let's fight the wave for a second. And as you can see, we're actually fighting and able to sustain these larger waves. They may be hard to see, but you can kind of see with the ridges. I'm going to actually pause it real quick and take a look from the side. Look at these center waves. We were able to sustain at least a small amount of creeper there, and if we're able to sustain that, we could theoretically work our way up. It might die to a wave like that, or a wave like that, which is essentially the same wave. It might. It might. But, you know what probably won't? Once we take this, we have, again, gotten another, essentially, quarter of the map. Not quite, because, again, these are part of the quarters. So not quite a corner, but that's a lot more power for our little emitter, our little anti-creeper emitter that moves with the power of the mouse. Oh, yes, it does. So we can move all the way up the stairs right here, without a doubt. But this time, we're actually going to move to the left first, for 2 reasons. Reason the first, there is anti-creep breeder over here, and I just don't want this breeder active at the moment. I think by turning this off, it will relieve a substantial amount of pressure. Which is good. Relieving pressure is very, very good. So as you can see, we've relieved this pressure. Secondly, now when we go up, not only are we taking land, but we have to go to the top of the stairs. We don't have to go to the top of the stairs, I guess, but I want to go to the top of the stairs to take everything, which essentially means without the breeder on the backside, we're taking everything. This is ours. You know, we're coming in here and just saying, this is our land now, Creeper. We're very sorry, but, you know, we have the anti-creep. I'm sorry. And we can even cut off to the wall and just make sure that's not causing any undue strife. Again, don't have to actually take it all. Just by doing that little cut to the wall, it really cuts it up, chews it out, and we are here. We're gonna use our little powers, take this center spot real quick, because again, it is breeder terrain. It is going to lose us a little bit in the way of the stairs, but we can also cheat it a little bit too. Because if we take this, just like this, not only is it going to breed for us, but now when we go back to the stairs, we're going to go back a little bit higher up. Because I don't care about the bottom. Ooh, they are taking that back really quick. But see, I use that to cheat up a little bit. We probably lost a little bit of speed going up the stairs. But again, we gained a lot more anti-creep generation. Even though they were pushing up there, they didn't quite take it. So you know what? I'm pretty happy with how that went. As you can see, they are trying to take it back pretty savagely, but that's okay. We can handle it. These stairs are now easy peasy ours. And again, that is a triple set of breeders. And one thing that is very nice about this section right here, other than the fact that we just took a triple set of breeders, is this area right here has anti-creeper breeder in it. So that's the side that I want to go into first. I would much rather have the side that can help me out. Then go through the mountainous side that doesn't even have breeders on our side in the corners. So, of course, we're going to go for the center first because we have enough power just to sort of force our way in and take out the center. But now when we take out the corners will only help us too. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. Is this the most optimal route? I don't know. This is my first time even seeing the map, and I basically looked at it and said, this looks pretty good. Try to come up with some strategy and stick to it, because if you start to question yourself too many times, you can really convolute your plan. I very well, when I was in the bottom right-hand corner, could have said, you know what, this one is definitely harder because of the beginning. I'm going to go to the top left. And probably should have, potentially, because that would have given us more power when we came back. But at the same time, we did it. We got through. We're taking the corners of this one right now. Feeling pretty good about that. And yeah, I'm okay with things. I am okay. Here we go. Moving on to the last corner. We're going to take the corner. We're going to leave the rest. And we are going to head to our mountain. Don't even care about that. Because, again, we have so much breeder over there. It will be fine. Let us check. How's the creep to anti-creep ratio? We are moving up quite substantially in the creep to anti-creep ratio. And let's see how well this mountain goes compared to the other mountain. Because now we have the power of multiple more areas, right? I mean, this one seems like it might have been a little bit weaker. I don't know. Maybe it was the same strength in essence. I don't know. But already so far it does seem like we're carving our way up the mountain relatively easily. It seems like we're sort of taking the top of the mountain without it pushing in nearly as much, which is fantastic. Of course, that's what you want to see, right? You want to hold this top portion, and we want to hold the top portion just for long enough to sort of curtail the creep to the point where it's not necessarily able to encroach the top, and then we want to cut off a corner. So last time I went for the corner opposite, which technically speaking is not optimal. The most optimal should be to go for one of these corners, because this corner can't get reinforced from two other sides. So we're not pushing into essentially 3 waves of creep generation. We're only pushing into this waves and that wave that's coming in, but we can hold that off because this corner isn't producing creep. So by cutting it off there, and then by cutting it off just like this, again, this isn't necessarily sticking to the walls, but there's no creep generation over here. So this whole this is all dead creep, in essence. So yeah, I'm pretty okay with that. Again, there is our next corner. Done, done, done. And last but not least, again, just go straight for it. Another set completed. Very happy with that. Now the question is, can we handle the waves here? So this did reach an equilibrium. So let's actually take this over, because again, there is some breeder down there, so might as well get the breeder on our side. And yeah, the question then becomes, can we, or should we, move into the center, or is the center the last piece? Is it sort of take your corners and then you have the strength for the center? That could very well be it as well. So we're gonna have to wait and see. I do know that top right side, which we are on the way to, is definitely last, because again, there was no anti-creeper breeder at, say, the top of the hill and things like that. You want that, right? That's what you want. We might actually change our strategy for that, thinking about it. Maybe we should come from the side. I don't know. Like, go to a corner and work our way out, because then we're at least eliminating some. So let's see how this holds up against these waves. Again, these waves are large and substantial, really. But let's actually see if we can make our way up. And as we do this, very, very slowly, I am going to do a little pause and see how big our stack is to what looks like a big creep stack coming our way. So that is ours, that is theirs. Now it looks like we're much smaller, but you have to remember, we're emitting creep here, which actually means I think we can do this. I think if we unpause, we're just going to cleave through this, because again, we are just emitting creep. By holding our mouse, not moving it, just holding it, we're able to essentially create that. See how the wave is just pushing past us? And now we can keep it moving. So yes, we can definitely now climb our way up and take the center. And the center, again, as you can see, is very bad news, right? There's a ton of creep there. It's all spawning there. But once we take it, you know, it's ours. The entire pathway structure is ours once we take it. So that is, again, a lot more power for the top right side, which maybe we have enough power right now. We probably do, don't get me wrong. But if we can cut them off, why not at that point? We are getting substantially closer to the wave, so it is getting more quote-unquote dangerous. But as you can see, because we've been cutting off these waves, and here comes another one, look at the right side. I mean, our anti-creep is actually able to survive in these hallways for a little bit, strictly because we've cut so much out of the wave with essentially our emitter, which is fantastic. Let's see, can we make it up to the top? We can. Look at that. The glory of the anti-creep has hit. No more mega waves. And that essentially means we've taken it. We can... There's no breeder here, so we do want to officially take it, so to speak. But look at that. Just look at the beauty. It's dying down here. It can't get in any longer. We're creating huge pools. This is actually going to be the easiest side to take because, again, we worked our way up. And thinking about it, I should have came from down here. What was I even thinking? Why did I take the longest frickin' route? It's just because I was over there. See? Poor planning. That is some poor planning. Had I come from the bottom, I mean, look at the distance. It's literally half the distance. So Not exactly a wise decision on how to attack the center. If you noticed that earlier, feel free to let me know. I did notice it. It was silly of me. I just literally was like, well, we're coming from over here. We just took this section, so might as well keep going. And that's not the best way to do it. We took this section, and then we could have just easily gone from the side. So, silly me, but that's okay. Again, we're just going to clean up everything because, again, there's no breeders in the section, and there are absorbers basically guarding everything. So while I'm not worried that the creep is going to take over the center, so to speak, in any regard, there's no worry that the creep is going to take over the center, I just want as much power as possible for this last push, because this last push does seem like it is the hardest side. Again, maybe the center was supposed to be the hardest. That's quite possible. Tricky Gamer, let me know. Oh, see, look at that. See there. Oh, no, that's not creep breeding in. That was just the anti-creep melting off because there's nothing producing it up there. So perfectly fine there. That is taken over, and finally we are here. So the question is, where do we start? Do we start at the stairs? Do we start on a side? We could start on a side because this does have breeders and things like that. That would lead us to the center of the stairs, which actually isn't too bad. I might just do that. Because starting here, we do have breeders in the corners, which is great. Those are what we want, actually, versus the center. Although we want to sort of claim the center, because the center does have creeper breeder, of course. And no one wants creeper breeder, right? I mean, that's not what we're here for. We're here for anti-creeper breeder. Oh, my. Can we even make it in? Yes, we can. There we go. We're in. Okay. Good. We're able to get in. We're able to get a pocket of anti-creep, and again, this is an anti-creep only breeder, which is actually quite nice. We're taking the corners from them, which is fantastic. And now we just want to hold. Now, with holding, we are going to be going essentially for their creeper breeder sections, but still holding along the wall. So I want this, but I still want to hold the wall because, again, you never want to get surrounded. Once you're surrounded, that's when they're really pushing in on all sides, right? So we're trying to hold the wall and make a new line. So we're essentially trying to cut them off at seemingly right angles, like go forward a little bit and then come up and cut them off. I would like to go deeper, but I think with the amount of creep coming in from the other side, from the wave, you can see that we actually have to do a little bit of pushing, cut them off. This is not quite a right angle. But we're making, wall contact. So here we go. We're going to go along the wall. They're probably going to take some stuff back, but I want this anti-creep breeder more than anything else. So let's do that. Make some good progress, and then retake this. So our good progress is still going because our emitter is so strong that we were able to actually do a push while holding this. Now we do have a huge wave incoming, which is never a good thing. And then we have another wave right here. Let's just destroy that wave right away. Because again, we are so strong. We can do it. Ooh. This is I want to connect my anti-creep here. This is important. Because again, it prevents us from being surrounded. It surrounds the creep. And that's what you want to see, right? You want them to be surrounded, not you. So we've drastically reduced the amount of area that we have to cover. And I think I'm going to give up one side a little bit just to take the center here, because the center will allow us to sort of... Well, the center is their biggest producer, right? So if we can take out their biggest producer and hold two of the other producers while we hold two producers... Now, granted, I don't know how strong our two producers are, but they are producers for us, so I'm very happy for that. I'm feeling pretty good about this. As you can see, we're winning the war of attrition at this point, and now we can start to carve up the creep. I want to go to this, because again, it is breeder. Do not want them breeding, of course. This should eliminate their waves, and again, now this is dead creep. Fantastic. And we're going to go for the other breeder. We could go for the breeder on our side, but I'd rather just make it so they can't actually produce right now, because our pointer, our emitter, is so strong that we don't necessarily need that corner. We just need them to not be producing. So, yeah. See, we're just taking the corner naturally at this point. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, why did I go through this side instead of the other? Instead of through the stairs? Well, I did that for the same reason as before. Now when we go to the stairs, we're actually coming into the stairs at a higher point, which is great. I do know they have Creeper over there, Creeper Breeder over there, which is never a good thing. And they are pushing in over here. Oh no, I'm so scared. Not really. Ooh, so this is a problem. So because we don't actually have Breeder here, we can't necessarily hold that. So that's not a problem. It's just kind of annoying. So let's take our stairs. Again, we are going to get some Breeder on this, which is fantastic. We're going to eliminate some Creeper Breeder as well, which is actually not annoying. It is the opposite of annoying. It is glorious. Let's just try and hold this real quick. Again, what's nice is we are producing so much when we produce, it actually creates such a wave that it keeps pushing for a few seconds after we leave. So, as you can see, I just left, but it's actually pushing down a little bit, which is fantastic. So, stairway, we're going to go up, up, up. I want to take the whole thing, but I don't want this to fall again. So, we're just going to whoop, whoop, whoop. So, you can see the stairway is still pushing up levels, and I left. Beautiful. Beautiful stairway. And you're no longer producing at the top. Fantastic. Freaking-tastic. And now we're gonna do a twofer. We're gonna start to encroach here. Not gonna do too much, just start so it holds, because now we're not necessarily going to be producing back here, but we're gonna take this. I don't want to have to worry about the stairs. There's nothing else that can take it other than us, so we have to take it at some point. What is nice is, as you can see, the anti-creep is spilling out and taking the center hallway, which is great. But we need to manually take this Breeder in the back here. And we have, just like that. I'm just going to dump a little bit of creep here. I don't need to dump too much, just a little bit. That will secure that dies relatively quickly. But again, we control the map now. Literally, I think this is the last area, so fantastic for us. Happy days, happy days. Although this has zero anti-creep breeders. So that is a slight problem for us, you know. There is none. It is literally just the power of us, although we are destroying it quite nicely. I think we can even go straight to the top pretty easily. Even though there's waves coming in, you can see the little ripples of waves. It matters not. We produce so much because we are so strong that, yeah, we have taken the top of the hill. And again, with the top taken, we want to work our way around to the edges. We want to encircle them versus them encircle us. And we want to cut out their corners. And we want to do that by taking out the corners that aren't connected to other breeders, or as few breeders as possible. So in instance, this breeder first is the one of the two easiest, that one and that one. And then we can manage our top, manage down here, and keep everything secure. Ooh, these waves are definitely coming, but I think we indeed have it. Okay, stability has happened, and now again we are going to go to the wall. Pushing to the wall is our ooh, that was the two waves colliding. Look at that. But look at that. We made a nice power play, pushing to the wall, going to this corner now. Again, this corner only has reinforcement from that wave, which you can now see coming in, which essentially is null and void. Done, done, done. And now, last but not least, there is no reinforcement for this. It is all that there is. We are at 98.7% reclaimed. And I think this should do it. 99.9. Boom. Charging up. Now, where's the charging point? Where are you, charging point? I don't see you. I'm blind. Now, let's actually fill the center with anti-creep too. Whee! Look at that. Look at how powerful we are. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. There it is. It's right there. Almost done. Make a nice peak of anti-creep. That's right. Look at it go. Whee! And we control the peak now. And look at the bumps that we have. It creates so much. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So this has been 2 cursor maps yet again. How do we do 29 minutes? There's a 27er. There's a 28er. Overall, pretty happy with the result. I think our plan worked as I was hoping. Again, obviously there are some ways to optimize it. When I went up the wave, definitely could have shaved off like a minute there. So definitely could have optimized things a little bit better, but I think our strategy was pretty sound with our path that we took. So feeling pretty good. Definitely pretty good about the times. There are definitely some that are better, but for the most part, I think we're in the upper echelon of this cursor map. So let's say thank you again to Tricky Corp. So thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. We'll be doing more of these, and again, I did find, if we look here, tower defense maps. There are 4, it does appear, that there's a test, a variety, a features, and a wall. So we will be checking those out in a future video. I'm not sure exactly how soon. I do want to give them a go beforehand. As you can see, I have tried 2 of them already, and I'm just continuing that. They are very different. Getting my head wrapped around them. While I do love tower defenses, it is very different in Creeper World, so it's exciting. So please be excited for that, and let me know if you want to see them. Again, Tricky Corp has tons of maps, but again, I do want to check out other authors as well. So as you can see with the first-person shooter map, we were with one author. I think for the cursor maps, I'll probably stick with Tricky Corp for a while, try and do most of the numbered ones as I did with the first-person shooter maps. But we have plenty of others. If we go to the main screen, of course, there's tons here. Ari was the auto-build first-person shooter. Withers Chat, do want to do more of those for packs, which is fantastic. Just so many good authors. Thank you so much for making the maps. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you very much for checking this out. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will catch you next time. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the strategy. Let me know what you think I could have improved there, what I should be looking out for. And yeah, if Tricky Corp is in the comments, say hi to Tricky Corp. I'm sure they would greatly appreciate it and to have your support. So thank you so much to everybody. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.